podcast, so we're just starting anyway. See?
Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah, cheers. Cheers. I don't know how to act. I have company today.
Yay!
Okay. Welcome to PJ Knits. My name's Penny. I live in Central Illinois, and I'm a knitter, a blogger, and a YouTube podcaster, and I have a special guest today.
Ta-da!
And you are?
I'm Debbie, and I am just the roomie, the buddy, whatever you want to call me.
My knitting guest.
I am the knitting guest today, and I am, what am I? I am Priceless with a 1 on Ravelry, and the same on Instagram too, aren't I?
Don't you have a date behind you on Instagram?
Yeah, 24.
29?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
it.
All right. And I am PJ Knits on Instagram. I am Penny J on Ravelry. The group in Ravelry is PJ Knits, and I have a blog, www.pjknits.blogspot.com, where I talk about knitting and other things. And again, we both live in Central Illinois, and today is Monday, September 12th. And today's topic really is about transitional sweaters, which is perfect because 2 days ago it was hot.
Yeah, it was high 80s.
Mm-hmm. And yesterday it rained and it was chilly, and it's rainy and chilly and cloudy today. And come Friday in Central Illinois, it's going to be 87 degrees. So we're talking about transitional sweaters going into fall and into winter. And the nice thing about transitional sweaters, too, just as a reminder, like nobody needs reminding, but not only can you wear them in the fall and into the winter, but you bring them right back out in the springtime early on. At least we do in Illinois, because in last March we had some really warm weather,
right,
70s, and then it got cold again. So
right, we kind of do the little roller coaster ride on temperature.
So you can always knit on transitional sweaters. For me, I am, I'm always trying to get ahead of the season, and always just a tad behind of the season is what I'm finding. So I pull out my transitional sweaters from the years before, and I try really hard to start thinking earlier in August about transitional sweaters. But then everybody's always showing these summer sweaters, right?
Right.
And so I'm like, oh, one more summer sweater. Right. And so I'm trying really hard to cut myself off at some point in time. And again, I have a couple that I have migrated to springtime. My Niagara that I was working on out of that green Sandus yarn.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to do that as a transitional sweater. And it's like, when it starts to get like this outside, cool, and a little bit of the leaves starting to want to turn, then that bright green really screams, oh, let's wait till springtime. So I migrated that to hibernating till springtime, and really want to remember to bring it out again, February-ish, with a couple of other ones that I really have in my brain.
Well, and that's funny that you say that, because I'm doing that Pearl Soho Tuva. That, and it's in a stone color, so it's kind of that creamy, grayish, whatever you want to call it. And I have dragged it back out. I had it in hibernating, and I've dragged it back out because I'm on Sleeve Island. Yeah. And so now I want to get it done. Right. So that I can wear it and just put on some little, because it's a little V-neck, so I can wear it plain, or just put some sort of tank or, turtleneck or something underneath it. So now I'm like, hurry up, finish this. Yeah. Yeah. So
yeah, so, and I think it's okay, and I've made it okay with myself to put something aside until springtime. And I'll talk about in a little bit, make a note in my journal of what I've done, of what my thought process was this point in time. So anyway, so with that, talking about transitional sweaters, what are we wearing? Debbie, what do you have on?
I'm wearing Reine, R-E-I-N-E, by
Alexis something.
Watson? All right, now I'm going to look it up while Penny's talking.
Yes.
But,
and we'll put all of this stuff down below in about a day or
notes.
two. I'll put it in the description box down the road.
But there's just this little cable that goes all the way down and down the front.
Stand up a little bit there. Yeah.
Down the front. It's got buttons all the way down. Of course, I just button it part way. But it's made from the top down, and it is Sweet Tea Yarn, Molly Klein.
Oh, Molly Klein design. Okay.
I think it's called Pumpkin Spice.
It's perfect for right now.
And right now it's a great weight. It's a DK weight. It's great for, like we said, the transition.
And into winter, you can wear that all the way.
Yeah.
I mean, you can wear it all the way through winter, and you can do, it's perfect for Thanksgiving as well.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good.
Yes, it does get taken out a lot in October and a lot in November.
But there's nothing to say that you can't bring that back into spring, as well. And that's the kind of the key to transitional sweaters, is to not just limit them to doing right now. So
Winslow. Alexis Winslow.
Okay. And you did that in 2020. So yeah. Wonderful.
Yep. And it's Pumpkin Pie, and it is the Darling DK by Molly Klein. Sweet Tea Yarns.
And the nice thing about it is you can, we go down to the riverfront tomorrow for knitting, and the high is supposed to be 78 tomorrow. So I anticipate going down to the riverfront, and we want to sit outside because it's going to be sunny, because we have limited time to do that by the river. And that's something you can still wear with a short sleeve t-shirt should it get warmer quicker than we anticipated.
And then just take it off.
So
that's why I like my cardigans. I like pullovers, and I make them, but I really get more use out of cardigans for me because I'm always cold. More
wear, longevity. And I like cardigans too, but I don't like making them as much because I like to cover up I don't like to keep pulling them. and I seem to always be doing that. But I do like a cardigan because you can flip it on and flip it off.
That's why I like buttons.
And the buttons,
I can button it all the way down, but I tend not to.
And I have one that I wore a lot last winter, and I always keep it always buttoned it up, and I would always just throw it over whatever I was wearing because I prefer to not have to worry about it opening up and all of that. So
but you could do Corey Eichenberger's.
I could do her one, just sew it down, and I have done that with my tea leaves, which I will probably bring out, again.
And then you don't have to worry about it.
And then I don't have to worry about it. I just put it over whatever I have, and I wear it all winter long as well. So it's another transitional sweater. So probably this is not going to be the only episode that we talk about transitional sweaters, but in the scope of going into, again, back here in Illinois, we can still have warm weather all the way into November. And then we can have cold.
We did last year because we sat on the riverfront.
Yes.
On your birthday.
Yeah, exactly. So it has potential for talking about them again. What I'm trying to do as well, because of the podcast, is not keep showing you the same ones all the time, which is kind of hard. But there's new viewers and new subscribers who probably are not going all the way back to the very beginning. And so not that I'm apologizing, but I apologize to those who have watched over and over if you see the same thing again. I am really trying to, going forward, to not show you again in the springtime something that I wore in the fall for a transitional sweater or talked about it in depth. But anyway, that's just kind of a side note on that. So what I am wearing is, it is called the V-Back Tee, and this is by, it's Knitosofi. Anyway, it's Jamie Hoffman. It's called the V-Back Tee, and here's a couple of views. And I made this a couple of years ago. And you can wear it either way. You can wear it as a V-neck or as a crew neck or a rounded neck. And when I initially knit this, I knit it thinking that I was always going to wear the crew neck. And what I found when I got done with it is that I really liked the V-neck better. And so that's what I've been doing is wearing it with that. I knit this out of 3 Irish. I'm going to look at my note.
3 Irish girls.
3 Irish girls, yes. I knit that out of their yarn in Adorn Luxe that I bought at ZK.
Yeah, I remember buying that with you.
And I still have one extra skein of it. I have made mine longer than hers. Again, knitter's choice. And I've also made mine because I knew that I wanted to wear it because of the colorway. I wanted to wear it further into the fall and in early spring. I made it 3/4 sleeves. I just kept going, and I've talked. Sorry, I'm gonna.
No, go ahead. Whack! Oh,
I'm gonna wave at you.
Being beaten on the podcast, but no, I like that it's 3/4 sleeves personally.
3/4, yeah.
This color tells me it's fall. It's or spring,
and bring it back out in the springtime, most definitely. And the neck is a little wide, but I'm okay with that. And I really think the V-neck for me was a little bit more flattering. And like I said, I did lengthen it. And it has this nice detail down, I think, that draws that as well.
Move over a little so you can see the detail.
There you go. Now, and it has German short. I did the German short rows in it. I'm not a fan. You love German short rows.
I love German short rows.
And it's just because I think I don't get a good do on them that I'm okay with wrap and turn. And sometimes you don't get a good do on those either. But and so then I adapt. But so I did do that. I lengthened it a little bit. A lot of the V-back tees are done out of more than one color
oh, really?
yarns. They're not. This was the variegated all as it is. Yeah, this is 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. Yeah, separate different colors. And I know the gals from the knitting place have done that too, and they did that as well. So you can see there's multiple colors. They did more than one yarn on that. I chose not to, and then it just did it. It did what I wanted it to do. So
now, did you have to alternate skeins at all, or did you just pick up a skein and go? Or did you remember?
This one, I'm fairly certain I just picked up and went. I didn't think I was into helical knitting at the time. I know I wasn't. I just until maybe in the last year and a half, I have not been doing helical knitting. I just let it fall where it may, and then I had a couple of disappointments along the way because I didn't helical knit and I should have, but that was pre knowing how easy it was.
Yeah, now it's a big deal.
Exactly.
I mean, it's easy to helical knit, and now it's a big deal. I advise everybody to learn how to do that.
Exactly,
it's a great thing to know.
And I think too. With this particular pattern, by the way the shaping was and the things that you were doing, because you can see because it does that V going down and the short rows. For me, I think even if I knew at the time about helical knitting, I don't know how easy that would have been. Because sometimes I'll talk about party top. There's sometimes where
you can't.
I can't do it, or I can't wrap my head around how to do that successfully when there's something else going on rather than just knitting. So, anyway.
Right. It's not like when you're knitting a hat.
Right.
And until you get to the crown, you're just going.
Or a simple stockinette pullover where you're just going down and not doing anything.
Yeah.
No patterning to it or anything like that. So that I did not. And there was shaping in short rows. These are the short rows down here.
I can see that. Yeah.
Making that. So anyway, again, I think you can take any sweater, if it's a short sleeve, or in this case, very, very crop sleeve, and making the sleeves fit you. I've talked about that before. It's like, it's knitter's choice, and there's no reason why you can't. Any sweater out there you can adapt. We've seen when we were at Stitches Midwest. Remember the sweater that we saw and on a mannequin that had these skinny arms?
Oh, yes.
Well, there's no way this is getting in that. We talked about that.
Yeah. There's no way these arms were getting in that
either.
I
mean, they were.
No. I don't know who it was made for. I mean,
it was a lovely sweater.
It was a lovely sweater. It looked like a normal size. I'd say a 38-40 chest.
Right.
It looked pretty normal. And then the arms were real little bitty, and it's like, whose arms fit in that?
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way. But I'm a firm believer that you can take any pattern and adapt it to you, and make the sleeve fit just with a little. You got to work at it, and you may have to revamp some things. And I guess what I am is a testament to the fact that you can make your sleeves fit your arms, because I've always had these arms. You know, I look back in some pictures when I was in high school, and I always had fat arms.
Oh, did you?
They've just gotten fatter as I got older because I didn't do anything with them. So definitely you can take anything and make it into a transitional sweater.
Yeah.
Well,
and a lot of times it's just adding those extra stitches underneath the arm, and then don't start your decreases.
Exactly. I don't
until
decrease.
you get past that part you don't like about your arm.
And take out your measuring tape and make sure that that's where you want them at. And so I kind of got that in my journal to make sure that
And so that it's like the other arm, make sure you're counting the rows.
Yeah, the rows.
Have your row counter on so that you are making it the same
so
on
that you
both
get
sides.
some sort. And I've seen a lot of people will do the light bulb markers to mark their increases or decreases so that they match up. Now, for me, I'm pretty much on this one and other sweaters, and I talked about that before. Once I get them picked up underneath the arm, I'm pretty much knit even until I get to the elbow. It's about 8 inches, 9 inches. Then I start my decreases because it's fat all the way down to there. So.
And then you're going to have some quick decreases.
I'm having quick decreases.
Yeah, your arms aren't that much longer.
Right. I don't have that far to go, and I have to get. If I go to the
wrist.
The wrist, I have a short wrist, and so there has been times where I have done too quick of decreases, and it does this, and it's like no, that's not what I wanted either.
Sure.
And then so I have to maintain that kind of a nice even, and deal with that depending on what I want. So anyway, long story. Just say you can take any sleeve and adapt it to a transitional sweater.
Yep.
So. Other ones. Do you have any other transitional sweaters?
Just the Tuva I'm working on.
The other one, this one I had out in the springtime again, and I wore it, talked about it, and I'm just gonna. It was back in episode 76. Just gonna talk about it again. This one is the Party Top by AbbyeKnits. This one is a perfect thought of wearing it in the springtime and then turning around and bringing it back out in the fall or late summer, because of a couple of things. The yarn most definitely is conducive, but then again, just the sweater in general. This is a 3/4 sleeves as well.
So now, does that hit in the same spot as this gold one, or does it hit more at the elbow?
It hits just about the same spot. A little bit longer.
Closer to a bracelet length.
Right. And so I really like this one for both seasons. And it's a little bit shorter.
I was going to say, this looks croppy.
A little bit shorter. This is as cropped as I would go, but still hangs down okay. And this one, the thing is, it has just that nice treatment in the sleeves with the sleeves.
It's got a nice detail.
Yeah.
Nice
Otherwise,
yarn overs.
A simple knit. Now, this was one that I did helical knit on, but did not helical knit until after I got down to the split in the sleeve. Because again, how do you deal with, and if somebody knows,
good question.
How do you deal with that in helical knitting? Because eventually you're going to hit a yarn over.
Yeah. You're going to be in a mess in a yarn over.
Yeah, exactly.
The body can be helical knitted.
Right. So this is another example of one of those things that I talked about in the springtime, and I'm bringing it back out in the fall, and I'm going to wear it. I'll probably wear it down to the riverfront tomorrow because,
it'll be perfect.
Yeah, it's going to be 78, but it's not going to be 78 at 10 o'clock when we're down there. So
no.
One of the three that I've got. But perfect example is you don't have, just because we're talking about transitional sweaters in the fall doesn't mean that you can't bring out your spring ones, even if they're in a spring-like colors. So that is that one. And then the last one is Pavement that I'm going to talk about.
You want it down?
Yeah, let's take that one down. This one, if you remember, I was knitting on this when we were in Florida.
Oh, yeah.
All that time ago. That's
4 years ago.
Again, not helical knit because I was not helical knitting back then. This is by Vera Valimaki. I knit this one out of Briar Rose Sea Pearl, which is it's been discontinued, unfortunately. But I think this is a perfect one for fall for me because it's fall-like colors. And the thing that I'm so pleased with this one is without doing helical knitting, it still looks, there was no issue. And that's the testament to Chris's yarn on back with C Pearl.
It's got a great drape though.
It's got a great drape.
Great.
It is, let's see, I got the note here.
Now,
woolen tencel.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And so it has a great drape. And unfortunately, like I said, it's been discontinued. I still have a couple of colorways left in it, a really pretty gray. But I liked, again, this one had German short rows, and I did German short rows on it back when, you know, when I was told to do it. I did not do them successfully. So what I did is I went back, because I didn't like them. I went back and duplicate stitched over them to close up my issue. So it has a curved.
Now, why did I think pavement had like a vent in it?
No, it just has this kind of. This is where the short. See where the short rows come in.
Right.
Here?
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah. And so you duplicate stitched them.
So I duplicate stitched to hide my inability to do those, but it has such a great drape on this, and has a nice side treatment. Another one, a finger weight yarn, a neat little, you know, kind of like a look at the sleeve as well. And I'll probably wear it on the show at some point in time.
Just a little detail you might not be able to see.
Not be able to see that, yeah, as well. You can maybe see it on the back
there. Yeah.
But I really like this one for right now as well, color-wise and for the feel of it. And easily that you can I could throw a poncho or a sweater over, or my fleecy if I was desperate for a while. So, again, that's Pavement by Vera Valamakian. So just another idea for those if you're looking for some sort of transitional sweaters. Yeah, there you go. So, some fun.
And if it falls, don't worry.
Don't worry about it if it goes clickety-clack. So anyway, those are some out of my wardrobe and out of Debbie's too for transitional sweaters. And then you want to show your
my Tuva?
Your Tuva, yeah, for because I have one I'm going to show for transitional as well that I'm in progress.
I do have the other one that I think. But anyway, this is a mess because I got things hanging. The sleeves you are supposed to do from the bottom up. I have long arms, so I finagled it myself.
Knitter's choice.
Knitter's choice. So I did it decided to do it from the top down. Basically what I did is I found out how many stitches there were that would end up all the way across before you start your cap. So I did about 10 rows. Mine happened to be 74 stitches. I did 10 rows, and then I did the cap and bound off for that. And then I inserted it into here, and now I'm knitting straight down, and I'll start my decreases here. But I kind of, did it my way because I have very long arms.
Right, you need.
And I need to be able to make sure I have enough yarn. This way, if I don't, we'll go with bracelet, we'll go with 3/4, we go with the flow. When you have long arms, you only have so much yarn. But it is a tunic, and it does have a little vent. And to it. And
she's got her little red tie here with her leftovers.
From my cast on. So yeah, and it's a little V-neck, and it's called Stone, and it is made out of Shibui, Cima, and Lunar. Held together. So 2 lace weights held together.
Oh, yes.
Another reason why it was in hibernation.
Yeah.
Because knitting for a long body and long arms.
It's a finger weight sweater. And we've talked about that before. No more finger weight. It's like,
Penny and I only pick things. This is cute. Let's do this. And then you look at it and it's finger weight. We have a real big habit of picking those, and it's not fun.
Do you have a picture of it?
Of Tuva?
Yeah,
I do, but I think it's a bad picture because it's a bad.
Oh, that's all right. We'll get it close. Get it here, kind of. So it's a tunic, a simple tunic. Oh, now. So you're going to go as long as you can on those sleeves. That's so cool.
Yeah. So.
That's a great
Shibui. So
Shibui, it's actually knits. A Shibui pattern.
It is.
Okay.
And then here's how you spell it.
Tuva.
Tuva.
V-neck pullover.
Yeah. So.
Now, and that one's seamed, so you have to seam the back on.
I do have to seam. And I don't mind. I love mattress stitching. Penny here doesn't. I've offered several times to take care of her mattress stitch. I've done other people's. I don't mind mattress stitching. It's I just put it and do it while I'm watching some show.
Yeah, and a couple of things. The reason I probably don't like it. I mean, it's like riding a bike. Could I ride a bike right now? I used to love it, but I haven't done it in ages. So
I can. I have been on a bike. Yes.
I'm not sure how I would maneuver the whole bike thing, but it's kind of like that. I'm not great at it because I haven't done it in a long time. It's like cooking. Well, that analogy is really, I haven't done it. I done it, for a long time. So I'm not used to doing it. And when I'm done, I want to be done and I want to block it and I want to wear it. And to my detriment at sometimes because I'm too quick to want to be done with it and move on to the next thing. It's because I have so many things I want to do. So
I have lots of things I want to do.
Yeah.
And you are part of my issue.
Yeah.
Because as we see, people who know me very well, we'll get off topic just a little.
That's all right.
People who know me very well and other friends know that I am a one project at a time girl. You are rewarded. You get to go on to the next project. Yes, as you will see, Penny has taken me out of that box. And I do at times go a little nuts going, oh my God, I got to get this done. I got to get this done. So I'm blaming Penny for this. Plus, I can name a whole list of other people. There's very few of us, of our friends, that do one project at a time.
You were the only one that I knew that did one project at a time.
Oh, okay.
So saying that, I have found in the last month or so, I'm reverting a little bit towards that. Like if you want to finish something, you need to finish it. But then all of a sudden, that's just a lie. I'm telling y'all, because
squirrel,
it won't take but a minute for me to go up and get something at Cast On again. But then I'm thinking, you're never going to finish this. And I remember somebody saying one time, oh, you are such a fast knitter. It's like, no, I just have multiple projects. And so when you finish one, you think I really knit the whole thing. And I've been working on it for 3 years. So no, I'm not a fast knitter. I just have lots of projects. I do not apologize for it, but I'm trying really hard not to cast on before I finish something.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
you should see. Yeah. I brought some things that I'm just dying to cast on, and that's like, finish this first.
I'm having a really hard time of doing that, and a hard time not buying yarn. But then again, really trying hard to use my stash now because it's out of control. And we talked about the fact that I have a yarn shop in my yarn room.
We both do.
So
we both have a yarn shop.
That's all right. It's brought me a lot of fun.
Yes, and it brings us joy.
It brings me joy, and I'm all about choosing joy. And if it sits up there till I'm gone, I don't care. That's for somebody else to worry about. But so anyway, but then I have a whip. I
got more than one whip.
Well,
Go
that's
ahead.
cool. This one is Yume, and I'm calling it Yume. I have no idea, but it doesn't have the accent over. But it's by Isabel Kraemer, and I've shown this one before. We talked about it way back in episode 51. And when we were up in Elgin, I bought. They had this knit up out of Berroco.
Was it the remix?
Yeah, remix light. And so I purchased the purple.
And this is Tweety looking.
Yes, it is Tweety. And so I have cast on this one because again, I think this is perfect for transitional. And I'm going to do long sleeves, and I think most definitely you could wear it well into winter. But again, when it's, the snow's flying and it's really super, super cold and outside, it's not one that I'm going to wear, out and about. I don't think.
Yeah, if you put something underneath it, you really could because that purple is winter.
And then my other thought was, and I thought about this last night as I finished the top, not the top part, but the lace work. I thought to myself, for this sweater, maybe I should have chose a lighter color.
And why?
Because I'm not, are we seeing this? Yeah, I suppose we are.
Yeah.
On a body?
Yeah.
I just think that in a lighter colorway, that it might have been a little bit
it's like cables. If it's a darker color, it doesn't show as well. So the same thing with lace weight.
Right.
But if you do have like a tank top or something underneath,
which I do,
or skin,
tanks,
it will show.
And quite often, I pull out the tank tops.
I was going to say, wait, put it under here, and you'll see it.
Remember the avalanche that we knit?
Yes.
And that has that big pattern cables panel. And lace panel down the front. And I don't wear it by itself, but I have a tank top that I just pull out just in the wintertime to wear.
And I pull out different turtlenecks to wear with mine because mine's cream color.
Right.
But, no, I think,
So I see a shirt, a button-down shirt as well in that. But I just thought, but then if you went lighter color, it really lends it more towards stopping at a fall point, not wearing it into the winter.
And that's why she's got, short sleeve and long sleeve.
Yes.
So you could do this as your long sleeve version and do another color lighter for short sleeve version.
It's a little bit better.
And have both.
There, the color. Getting a feel for the color in it. So, which is really, purple. Again, I wanted to go with a color that I don't normally do.
Right.
And I went, again, side note on colorway. Did you see on Instagram or out there, and I saw it through the Home Edit, they did a post on Queen Elizabeth's. It had her in all the multiple.
Yes, all her dresses, the rainbow.
They were all bright.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love her style.
I love that. And I thought to myself, thinking of color, wouldn't it be fun to have like a whole stack of different colors, of all the gambit of sweaters? Couldn't you see those sitting up?
Oh, wouldn't that be beautiful?
A yellow and a pink and a red and a blue and a green.
A rainbow one.
Yeah, just all kinds of.
But you'd have to do it in the shades. You could do it in the rainbow. You just have to do it in your color wheel.
It would be all different sweaters, and I can see this stack, and it would be a long-term project, kind of like
fun would that
taking it away from, the turquoise, always a turquoise or blue, but getting this this group of sweaters. I just thought I could see them all stacked up. And I've seen other Instagrammers that are not into color. They're more into the beiges, the creams, the taupies, the light browns, and they would have these stacked up sweaters. And I thought that's such an aesthetic that I love seeing these.
Oh yeah, it's really cool
colors.
Like that. Yeah.
But when I saw that post from the Home Edit with her and all of her suits and things like that, and these multiple colors, I'm like, I could see this a stack of sweaters.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, I went into the purple. I digressed when I was talking about the color, but I thought this was something new.
Purple,
and very doable for blue jeans and all that. So I bought that when we were on our the mini meetup up Elgin.
Frivolous and Frugal.
Yeah, and went to Elgin Dyeworks. Anyway, so that's what last night I'm like, I really want to knit on this. So, but because
that's a good transitional one. You should be able to wear that.
Yeah. So that's my whip. So.
Oh well.
That's the only whip I'm showing. I have lots of other whips, but I'm going.
This is my whip.
Oh, this is so cool.
This is the Anker Cardigan by PetiteKnits. And this is out of a Direful yarn. I got it, looking for my little tag. Look how I did that.
You're good.
I got it at Elgin Knitworks. It is a lady who dyes for them, but she also dyes for a few other stores.
Yeah, Peggy was telling us that there's a shop in Macomb that also carries it too, so we'll have to check that out as well. Yeah,
and this is called the Singing Bone, and it's pink, and then it's got other colors in it, so it's kind of tweedy.
This is so cool. This is so cool.
And it's a DK weight, and I love the weight. It
is scrumptious feeling.
Yeah, it is so nice.
My party top that I showed is out of Julie Asslein Leizu DK, and that's what this reminds me of.
Okay.
Just squishy. Squishy feels good. Yeah.
I just bought my first Leizu Julie Asslein just to make a hat.
I love her yarn. I love the yarn.
I've not had any of hers, so I treated myself to that while we were also at Frivolous and Frugal at Elgin Knitworks. So,
but this is totally just as scrumptious, and it's going to feel so good on.
And thus another cardigan.
And another cardigan. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So
I love my Anker pullover too. I love knitting on it. again.
I couldn't decide between the pullover and the cardigan, and decided the cardigan because I'm always cold and I can probably wear it more.
Sure.
So, yeah, so I am just going straight down now. So, it's just like.
And you can wear that now into the fall, into the winter, because it's a cardigan if you want. But if you decide you don't want to wear it throughout the winter, you can bring that back out in early spring. You have another transitional sweater, and it's great all into summer because it's a really good colorway for both fall and spring transition.
Right. I really like Petite Knit.
Yes, I like her
sweaters. She's got a lot of patterns I like.
They're all
accumulating.
Yeah, I think we all are kind of leaning towards her as well because, because I don't want to say they're simple, but they're nice. They're easy to do.
Right.
They look good on everybody. A lot of potential, and they're just cute. I think they're cute. Plus, she's cute when you see her in there.
She's about this big,
right,
and about this wide, and yeah.
But I just love, and she's really certainly turned us on to mohair, if nothing else, for those of us who can wear mohair. Certainly, I want more mohair sweaters and just in general.
Yeah.
The sweaters that she's done in her kids' things as well. It's like, so I think she's, a good designer, a fun designer and one of those things that, it is not they're not difficult knits, I don't think.
No, and I think they're good instructions. They're clear. There's not, I might have run across one thing that wasn't.
That may be
clear.
a little that's not as clear as normal type things, but
you also got to remember she is from a different country.
Yeah, she's designing in another language, and then it's being translated in that. But not anything certainly that we couldn't figure out.
Right,
on
right.
our own,
or if you're a beginner at a local yarn shop, person could do it for you.
Exactly. That's my thought as well.
Yep.
So, do you have other transitional sweater whips, or you?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, just I guess to leave transitional sweaters, I talked about this back a few episodes ago. I talked about my journal, and I had a page that the beginning of August, I sat down and made some notes of what I would like to do for transitional sweaters, possibles for fall and winter. And the nice thing, again, because it's my knitting journal, it's my knitting, it's knitter's choice. I don't have to adhere to anything if I don't want to. And so I did make a list, and I went back and a couple of them, I went back and made little notes on them that the granito that I was going to do out of a yarn, a Pearl Soho yarn that I got, I decided I'm not going to do it out of the linen quill because I rethought that, and I thought I had tried a sweater for me out of linen quill before, and I didn't like it as well.
Oh, really? Okay.
But I think it would be great at a tighter gauge. So I want to rethink that down the road. So I left the granito and the linen quill. I think linen quill would do well in this pavement as well.
So go down to more like a 4 needle.
Yeah,
or something,
I'll go a little bit tighter. I remember when I was trying to knit a sweater, I was not as happy about it. So rather than pressure myself that I've got to get one done now, I think the yarn that I was going to do it at is more conducive to spring. So I've made a little note that I'm rethinking the colorway, I'm rethinking the yarn, and I'm shoving it to spring.
Okay.
And along with there was a simple hug cardi that I was going to do that's DK and mohair. Again, that's really good. That would be a nice winter project for spring. Again, I've moved that one to spring, and I've moved Niagara as well. So I've got a couple other whips that I want to pull back out. So I've rethought my transitional sweaters in my journal. But I put them in my journal so that when come spring, I can come back and look through it and make some notes in it as well. So I really am using my journal a lot this
year.
Now,
what is the Simple Hug Cardi? I do not know that one.
It is by the gals from Canada, the sisters. And it is out of DK, and they have mohair with it. And it shows it in short sleeves with a rib. And and I have some leftover DKs that will go into it. But I would need to buy more yarn, more mohair. Right. And I thought my intention was, and I could lengthen the sleeves on it, but it's kind of here, and my intention is to not lengthen the sleeves, but it would be the perfect sweater to throw on in the springtime when I'm going outside in the early morning, when I just want to cover my body up,
Right,
and
right.
not necessarily all the way down.
Right.
So that's why I thought I really want that. I've shoved that one off.
Okay. Okay. I'll have to look that one up.
I'll pull it out
not,
before you leave. Yeah. So I've shoved those. I've shoved a couple of them off into spring, and mainly because we're kind of sort of, for me, I'm running out of time to knit transitional sweaters. I want to do this Yume, but I am itching to cast on winter sweaters and to do some color work, to pull out some whips that I've got and all of that. So I had to make a decision that it's okay to shove it off to another point in time. So, but I made notes in my journal.
Well, that's okay, as long as you can go back and refer and find. Yep.
And I still want to do a vest as well. And we talked about that.
A lot of people talk about vests on different podcasts and stuff. And it's like, wow, okay. So I can't wear a vest because I'm too cold.
Well, I'm thinking over a turtleneck and stuff like that. We go, at times. So
I'd have to have the vest with the turtleneck and then a cardigan on top.
Which you certainly could do.
I could do. I really could. It'd be an ensemble.
So I'm thinking about that. I'm itching. So you have to make the cut at some point in time that you can't do all of it. But I want notes for next time. Absolutely. So that's the long.
Absolutely.
Thing. So I think that covers about transitional sweaters for now. What have you got? What else you want to talk about?
Well, I brought stuff that I'm going to have to cast on.
Okay.
Penny.
Okay, so let's talk about what you want to cast on, and I'll talk about what I want to cast on as well at some point.
So, well, I can tell you what I have to cast on. Oh, I forgot I was going to show that.
Oh, cool. Oh, yes.
Okay, so this is like I want to. This I have to. Okay, so I have to cast on for my two little granddaughters, Amelia and Morgan, 5 and 3. I have to cast this on because I wanted to have it for Christmas. So I'm giving myself till October 1st to finish either Tuva or the Anker cardigan. Hopefully both. But I have neck issues, so I don't knit like I used to. Like it used to be, ask Penny, I could get this done in 2 weeks, no big deal. Right. Not anymore. So, but this is Morgan. No. Amelia's favorite color is purple. And then this is Morgan's. So I'm going to be making a purple one and a red one. And usually I don't make two of the same thing, but that's what we're doing. And my daughter wanted it out of a cotton. So when we were up in Indy with our table mates, I found this. It was the right weight. It was the right colors and the right price for Grammy. Or Mimi, excuse me, wrong kids. And so this is what I'm doing. So I am going to cast these on. I want to do one in November and one in October, and then they'll be ready for Christmas. So that is my goal.
Now, is this for Christmas giving or is this Christmas wearing?
Wearing.
Okay.
Yeah. I saw the pattern. See, this is the dumb thing. I saw the pattern and said, oh, isn't that darling? The girls need to have that. Showed my daughter, and usually she says, eh. She liked it. Oh, that's so cute. Okay.
She liked it.
She liked it. Hey. So, so that is what I'm going to cast on, but I am, like I said, waiting till October 1st, and then I will swatch and cast on for those. So, that's what I'd like to cast on. I have also wound and have not done a gauge of my...
Oh, yes.
And this is going to be Calliope, Espace Tricot's pattern, which I forgot
love
my
that.
pattern.
I love that. It's a free pattern.
It is a free pattern. I have had this for a while since it came out.
Yes.
And I finally wound it. Yes, we have. I finally wound it telling myself, you will get to this.
I love it.
It's beautiful.
I love it.
And
I love that pattern.
Yeah. Yep. So this I will cast on. I will swatch. I will cast on. So I'm excited about that. I thought, if I wind it, it will happen.
You have to do that.
Yeah.
But again, a nice one that you can you know, you don't have to have it like right away, but one that you can certainly work on, you know, early winter after your Christmas knitting's done, and
Yes.
and still have, you know, because of our weather and the way we are cold-blooded, you can still wear that well into the springtime.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, see, and we were talking about what I would also like to do, but this might wait till spring.
Oh, yes, I have that on my list too, and it's
PetiteKnit. It's cumulus.
But I think spring, most definitely.
Yeah, so I'm thinking.
That screams spring.
Yes. And then I saw this one, a striped tee, and I like the fact that it's striped right through.
Yeah, she's made that.
You know, it squares it.
Right.
You know, and I like that, and I thought that was different.
Because it matches, and I think it does a great thing to the neckline as well.
Yeah, I think it would be good on everybody. So that will probably be spring too. See, I thought I'd get to that stuff. It will probably wait until January or February.
And we have to consciously remember to do that, you know, again. And I say that every year. Okay, at some point in time, January-ish, you have to stop knitting winter.
Exactly.
If you want to be ready for the first sign of spring here and all the spring you want to do, you have to stop some point in time.
Well, and you have to give yourself time to get it done.
And the thing that bothers me about that is, unlike working in, like, say, ready to wear when I worked for the department stores, you know, summer was out before Christmas was even over. And yarn companies, they kind of wait and wait and wait. And so they're bringing out those really cool yarns in late May. And I'm like, I want to be done. I want to be wearing it. You know, so it's like, come on, guys, get those yarns
well,
out
they're just
earlier.
starting to do like the winter stuff now.
Right.
And you're talking, we're almost mid-September.
Right. Yeah. So,
and some of us would like to have that fall stuff done.
Yeah, so I'm, you know, that's why, you know, you go back into your stash and that. So, anyway.
Oh yeah, and speaking of stash, I did go back. Everything of mine's on Ravelry. Or
I saw that you were
finished.
doing that. I was like, she's been taking pictures.
I am almost finished with the whole entire thing.
Cool. That's cool.
Re-updating it and taking pictures and putting it on there, and I'm just about done. And I went back and I saw, you need to use this.
I know.
Oh, wouldn't this be cool in this? Because the other thing I want to do is that, and I've talked to our friend Peggy, and we've decided you might jump on this bandwagon, is to do that Traveling 2.0 that Noelle did.
Oh, yeah.
I really like that. I
We'll
really
see,
like that. And I thought, hey, you could do that a section at a time.
You could.
Because it's pick up here and knit this section so big, and pick up here and knit this section. So I thought, and I saw some stuff in my stash that I'm thinking, use it for that.
I know.
Use it for that. You might have to buy 1 or 2 skeins, but use that for that.
When I was up last week rearranging stash, looking for something that I couldn't find, I found so many cool things that you know, that I was like, I want to get moving back on that. And so, yeah, there's a lot of cool possibles up there.
Yes, that we should be using.
So, and I shouldn't, you know, poo-poo, you know, yarn companies that aren't on my time frame, but I should go to my stash and work through that, which is what I need to do. So, and then I just have one wanna knit here that will come back. This one really is. I'm ready to start on it, but I have a couple to finish in between. But Winter's Beach Cardi by Andrea Mowry.
Cute.
I've had that pattern. Now I will lengthen that. The body, and I've looked for the perfect yarn for this. When we were up,
we were in
Indy, and when we were up in for the mini meetup, and you know, this is done out of hedgehog's fibers, and so I really wanted something like that, and I had my hand on that yarn multiple times. But economically, for me, I just couldn't bite on that much yardage for this one, you know. And it's not to say that I have not, you know.
No, we've all done it from time to time.
Yeah.
Bought the more expensive and went, gotta have it.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. I don't care.
Yeah.
But this particular one, I just couldn't get my mind wrap around just spending that much money for something that I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty certain I'm going to like it when I'm done. And so I just had put it off, just looking for the right thing. So then a couple of weeks ago, we were at our local yarn shop, the Fibre Universe, and she got a trunk show in from Jody Long, along with Elba. This is a merino and alpaca luxury tweed blend. and at multiple colorways. And so I knew that this was one. I mean, I think that just kind of sort of screamed out my Cardi is what I planned on. So.
Well, it'll show the detail. It'll give you the tweed, but it'll show that detail because it's. I was gonna say bring it closer. Yeah. Because it's gonna have cables and stuff. It's gonna pop those details.
I think so. And again, it was one of those that I was happy to support my local yarn shop on this particular one because we do sit in there all winter long. We'll be sitting in there all winter long. Yes. And I want to be knitting on something. You know, she does not mind, but occasionally I like to be knitting on something that that came from her shop, but I have a couple others as well. So that's one of the things I want to cast on soon. But like I said, you know, and I'll talk about my whips another time. There's a couple other that I want to do as well. So okay, what have you got there?
Well, I brought, because I jumped on Penny's bandwagon with the blanket on Sunday Squares, and I'm not very far, but we can go back this many weeks. This is where I'm at.
Look at that.
But I made mine stained glass looking.
That is nice.
Instead, and mine is DK weight. So I'm taking my fingering weight yarn, doubling it, and I'm taking my DK and just doing it singular. But so yeah, so I thought, oh, let's bring that and show.
That is so cool. I love that, and it has a nice,
it's got a nice feel
to it. Yes, and I love that stained glass around that.
Yeah, I do too. I like
just
that.
Makes those pop. You know.
Yep.
It gives it a whole new vibe, as you know, compared to the one that I'm doing. You know.
Yeah, it's same but different.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah. So I thought, oh, let's bring this, and I'll show my little blankie.
I would never have enough DKs. But
I have started collecting the minis, and you gave me some as a gift,
and I'll have some leftovers as well. Yeah,
and as well, I'm gonna give Penny. I'm making a little basket with my leftover fingering because you know.
And for me, as like I said before on Instagram, it's a long-term project. Oh, yeah, I'm not set to finish this. I don't even know what bed it's going to fit. Probably a queen or whatever. But I have lots of minis to go, and I'm just enjoying knitting a square.
Oh yeah, and I'm the same way. Yeah, just pick it up on Sunday, knit a square, put it down. And you've accomplished something.
Put it aside.
Yeah.
And when I finish one on a Sunday, I always start the next one so that I'm ready to go the next week. But
Oh, you go ahead and pick up. Well, I have to do that black. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
Right.
Like I did not on this. I'll pick that black.
Right.
Up and do it, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, because when I want to pick it up, I want to pick it up. You know, it's like, okay, I've got those cast on, and sometimes I go and do a few rows because I'm feeling like I want to do a few more rows.
Yeah,
that's super cool.
So eventually, someday, it'll get done. It might go to my granddaughter, who's 14, by the time she goes off to college.
That could very well be.
You know, we'll see, and then we could start one for somebody else because. I got enough grandkids that I have to do that stuff.
Cool.
So,
that's cool. Yeah. So I only brought that one to whip to show you, but just updates on a couple of whips. My Darth Vader cape, I'm still knitting along with that. I swear to God, somebody's unraveling it at night because I think I have another 6.5 inches to go. And my goal is to have that done by the 23rd of this month. It will be done and in my grandson's hand. In 2 weeks because I have to move on.
12th.
Yeah, I have
and you probably do have about 6 inches left.
I do about 6 inches.
If you do 1 inch every day, which is about 8 rows a day,
it will be done. It will be done. So I probably won't work as much on my sweater here. I say that, but I need to get that done because there's a couple other grandkids who have requested things. So I didn't bring it back out because it's like, you know, it's a black cape. But anyway.
But it's like see, you stop what you're doing. I do the same thing. Yeah. I've had all these babies come into the family. I have been doing hats and cardigans and little booties and stuff. So you do that stuff, and then that puts your stuff on hold. Exactly.
But what you really want to be working on is the sweater and not the cape. But I have to get it done because he's going to ask me about it this weekend probably, and I will have it done by the time he comes the following weekend. So
yeah.
The half and half is, you know, I'm not showing it either because I'm still working on the black and I haven't made a whole lot of progress on that right now. But there's a lot of people who are starting them up, and which is so cool. This past weekend, Pearl Soho came out with the striped version of the half and half.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that. And the linen quill was on sale.
On sale and new colors. And I did not buy any new colors. I tried hard, but did not. And I did not print out the pattern because I have the one I'm working on and another one to come. So I'm not going down that avenue, but down the road we'll talk about the half and half again, and I'll show you the progress and all of that. But I just love it that there's so many people who are jumping on the bandwagon.
Oh
that,
yeah,
even our
I
friend,
can't wait.
Even our friend Brenda, I'm like,
she did. I think hers is like a bright pink and a charcoal gray or something like that. Yeah. So, I did not get on that bandwagon.
I'm just like I'm just thrilled when I see another or somebody from here will comment that they are knitting on it or they're cast on it, and then I love Lynn, who dyed the yarn for up at the mini meetup.
Yeah,
the comment was kind of like, I love it, but I'm not knitting it. And I think that's
I'm with her exactly. Now,
don't go there.
I have never used linen quill, so I need to find something that would make me happy to purchase the linen quill, because it does. Yeah. I like the look of it, but I've not used it yet.
Well, I'm going to say this to you: don't go that avenue for a few months. Okay, I'm just saying.
Light bulb.
Kind of like the table thing last year. Don't buy a table. Okay, just saying. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say about it.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll talk. I'll talk about those things. I'll show you my progress down the road. So do you have any other whips?
Oh, just a pair of socks. Pair of socks.
What?
That's the you girls are the ones who told me to do. Have a pair of socks always in your car.
It's a smart move to always have.
See, these are called Dreidel. So they're just a pair of little.
Was that a colorway at
as I recall,
Hanukkah?
Yeah. Actually, I think Brenda gave me these.
Who was the yarn? Who's the company?
Well, let's look and see who the company is.
So good, you got your little thing.
I try to keep it that way. Viso.
Oh, Viso. I don't know Viso.
Oh no, it's Desert Vista.
Oh, at Desert Vista. Okay.
Duh. Desert Vista.
Dyeworks.
DVD.
Oh, okay. DVD.
And it's called Dreidel.
Dreidel. That's cool. That's perfect. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So those sit in the car for appointments and whatever.
Super, super cool.
So I'm okay having this as a whip because I'm not in any hurry.
No.
And it gives me something to do.
Yeah.
If I have an appointment.
That's cool.
So yeah.
Okay.
In the little bag I won.
Was part of mistletoes.
Yeah. Yeah, last year I think.
Yeah. And speaking of mistletoe, that goes through the third quarter goes through the end of September, and there's a really cool yarn prize for. So post your pictures in the PJ Knits Ravelry group under Pistol Nose. Mistletoes.
Mine will not be done. Mine will not be done.
So disclaimer for this podcast: I do not edit. This is what you get. I do not clip. I do not do anything. If I do a little error, major error, it either stays in or I start over, and we're not starting over. So anyway, just to let you know, this is raw. I have no.
There is no script.
There's a script, kind of, sort of.
Well,
so I can
ideas.
remember things, ideas.
Yeah.
But I do not edit this. This is what you get, and so I am so appreciative to everybody who comes back each time, and for the many new subscribers and people watching them, and the kind comments about, how much they are getting or being inspired. That was my whole reason starting it, was just to have fun with it to start with, way back when we came home from Naples that year.
Right.
But now it's just to inspire and just to talk about my knitting. It's my knitting journal, and so I do appreciate everybody tuning in and putting up with the fact that there's no music, there's no pictures inserted, and if I say something funky, it stays.
Okay, I already know Penny does not sing.
My kids tell me not to sing, or at least they used to. So, all right, finished objects. The elm cowl.
Yay! It's beautiful.
I love this. I bought this yarn up at Elgin Knitworks at the mini meet up there. It is a skein of Direful yarns again, and there's that. And then the other yarn is Rico Design Mohair Print, and I used almost all of it.
Wow.
That's all. I knew that I didn't want, I think this will go into my blanket. That's why I was saving it, to put it into my blanket. I didn't even know there was enough. And this I'll just pitch.
Yeah.
But finished that up.
Look how pretty that is.
On a size
I love
8 needle.
it.
Yeah, and did almost all.
What size did you use? Needle?
Size 8 needle.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's got a great feel. It's very soft. It's softer than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
And a couple of the other gals were doing this.
Yes.
Wasn't Kelly from Canada doing it from Knits and Pieces?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think Kelly was doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I saw this, originally saw it on 3-Ply podcast. They talked about it. And so then we were up there, I'm like, I want to do that.
Oh, yeah.
And picked out the Direful yarns. So.
Yeah, no, I love it.
It's
Very
fun.
nice.
And, again.
Put it on. Take your glasses. Oh, yeah, that'll keep you snugly warm.
Because I have,
hot.
I don't know, but my thought process here is because I have to, again, this year I did last year, but this year I am snow blowing my own snow, right? And my biggest complaint was my hair whipping around in the wind. And when you have one of these on, it doesn't do that. You know what I mean? The hair stays down.
Can you bring it up?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Oh, I love it. Oh, actually, I like it like that the best.
And I'm still staying warm.
Yeah.
And my hair is staying in there, and the snow's not spitting back at, well, it will, but you know what I mean?
It always does. But, oh, yeah. Look at you, little snow bunny. Yeah, I like it.
So, and it still will stay down in my coat or in my sweater or whatever I've got on. So.
Yeah. Oh, no, I like that.
Yeah. So that was a free pattern from Elgin Knitworks when you bought the yarn. It's called the L Cowl.
Very nice.
Yeah. So.
Cool.
Okay.
And nice to know it's one skein of one thing.
One of each, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 400 and some yards, for whatever that was. I think there was a little bit less on the mohair, but it was fine. Which tells me maybe Direful has a little bit more yardage on theirs than they said, but
sure.
It was fine. I love
worked
the colors.
out.
Yeah. So I love that. So that's the finished object that I've got.
Good. I don't have one.
Nothing else?
No, because I'm working.
So I don't have much. Oh, I do have a little stash. No, mail call in there. I have some mail call. But anyway, I'm not really showing any shawls today. We'll do that on the next episode because Summer of Shawls goes through the 22nd, and we'll do a little bit more talking about shawls and in the next episode, and I'll show you a couple more that I have in my thing. But this was just to cover up stuff because I had a mail call. A friend of ours sent us something, and sent me something.
I was going to say, not me. Who?
Well, I'll tell you about this.
Is it Annette?
Yes, from Annetta. Sent me a box.
Okay, you can say us. It's fine.
Sent me a box to share, and this one is mine. And this is Simply Socks, small batch socks. And I'm really super excited to cast on a pair of socks for me out of that. So,
very nice.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Very cool.
Which means I need to finish the pair of socks that I have on the needles. Not necessarily, but anyway. So a little mail call. Thank you, Annetta. And so then she sent a little something for you.
Oh, she did?
And I already started into mine yesterday.
Buffalo Trace coffee. Oh,
yeah.
It's very yummy.
It's, bourbon flavored. So
bourbon flavor. Oh, yay!
And then she said...
I thought she was too busy.
No, and then
Thank you.
She sent the yarn, and she said, you can tell which one was mine. And then here's one for you.
She sent me some yarn?
Yes. So that's what was covered up in the shawl there.
Oh, how pretty.
Is that gorgeous or what? It's such a cool
Bumble birch.
Bumble birch, yes.
Oh, it is. It's so pretty, and I love red.
And I like both of the yarns are yarns that neither one of us companies have ever, never used.
Oh, wow. Okay.
A tonal or whatever, and it's...
Well, you can see other... Yeah. You can see other shades in here. There's some like pinks and some reds. Yeah, I can't wait to think what I'm going to do with it. Go ahead. I don't have my glasses on.
3-ply fingering Wellspring is it is superwash merino.
Okay.
Color tulip. Bumblebirch.com. Out of Portland, Oregon.
Nice. Cool. I've not heard of them.
You could do mitts out of this too.
Well, I was going to tell you, I need
I will
that.
give you that.
Yeah.
I will send you. I will
because
send you that
decided
pattern.
I needed to do a pair of mitts. Yeah,
that would be so.
Oh yeah, very pretty. It's very
so,
soft. I can't wait. Well, thank you, Annetta. That's so
thanks,
sweet
Annetta.
of you.
I was going to tell her about it, and I thought, no, I'm just going to cover it at the very bottom and use it for mail call and all that. So anyway,
that was very clever. I'm very excited.
Yeah, thank you. So. Thank you for our yarn and coffee, Annetta. We appreciate it. She's getting ready to go on a little trip shortly. We're all
big trip. We're all jealous.
We're all
she's
jealous.
Going overseas.
Yeah, so it would be fun to hear about that when she gets back. But so anyway, that's all I have. Next time I'm going to talk about hap shawls as part, and that probably will be in conjunction with the end of summer on the 22nd. I'll try to do that late next week at some point in time. Do a podcast. But that is all that I have. I want to talk about today.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, so thank you again for everybody who tunes in and for subscribing. If you will subscribe, and comment below. I love to hear good comments, and I do appreciate you tuning in to listen. This one's a little bit longer today, but it was nice having somebody to
This
talk
is what
to.
happens when we get together.
Yeah, exactly.
Always.
So
Yeah.
anyway. Until
thanks
next
for
time.
having me, Rumi.
Yeah, thanks for coming down. Yeah, we would have been outside, but it's a little chilly, a little windy, and the light's a little bit better, but still, this is perfectly fine. We'll be back. We'll be back here again. So until next time, knit on with confidence and hope through all crises, and have a great week. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.
Bye.